Bongani, welcome to Joburg today. It's such a big pleasure to have you with us to talk about June 16th, 1976. Tell us how the day unfolded for you.
I was fortunate enough because I stayed the same street as one of the high schools, which is Orlando West High School. And then I had a little daughter, a 3-year-old. I normally take her to school, which is opposite Orlando West High. That day I took my daughter to school, but I discovered there's quite a lot of students outside from the high schools, and they were mingling around. And I suspected there's something going to happen. So I immediately took my daughter back home. I took my camera, and then I went to the crowd, which is the student, because I wasn't like there wasn't far difference between me and the students. I was very young then.
And at that time, was there the commotion? What was the commotion like? Was it relatively peaceful?
It was peaceful. They were singing, talking, like chanting slogans. And across, there were police with dogs, watching the situation, standing there.
And there were a number of protests before this event, but not all protests turned out violent.
No.
So this was like random kind of...
Yeah, from nowhere, it just, and I couldn't even reset my camera or set my camera because some of the pictures were like slightly out of focus. We're using film, so you need to set up the aperture, and and make sure the aperture is right for the sun and you focus properly. And
sure. What were your expectations as a photographer?
To be honest with you, I don't think I was expecting anything. But as a young photographer, and for instance, I've never get formal training to the camera, and it's a self-taught. So when things like this come out, you get excited. You want to grab everything.
Yeah.
But imagine, if you want to grab everything, what time do you focus? And.
Your work is received all over the world, and what was appetite like from international press and media to actually cover the unfolding of the events at the high school on June 16th?
Well, day one, there were no other photographers, international journalists, and I guess it's good because probably they were going to be.
So you got a lot of publicity, the photographs.
And besides, they wouldn't be allowed by the police or the students, because the police didn't even allow us to take pictures because they wanted to hide this thing. Yeah. Because they knew if you come from a newspaper, you're going to show this to the newspapers, the whole world would know. At a later stage, not the first day, later stage during the week, the students also started to, be sort of don't like us. Because of, we take these pictures, we publish them on our local newspapers, and then the police take the paper, start tracing them with our pictures.
So they were victimized as well.
Call us sellouts.
And I think it's the photographs and the photography that came out of that event that really told the tragic story of what happened at that school.
Definitely.
And shift perception.
Yeah, definitely.
Hence, it was a turning point.
Hence, they say picture tells the...
1,000 words. Yes. That old adage is so true.
Yes.
When you look at a picture and you actually see the tragedy in the eyes of the victims, it opens hearts and souls and minds.
Yeah, but they're talking about the old pictures of the negatives, not now, digitals, because we have Photoshop.
Oh, of course.
We never had Photoshop.
Yes, the purpose is slightly different. Yeah. But it was such a big pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome, my dear.